Welcome back. Let's head to Baltimore, where the city schools had the lowest graduation rate across Maryland during the last school year. In 2022, at least 23 of its schools had 0 students proficient in math. Maryland's Democratic governor is saying education is a top priority back in February.
We made the largest investment in public education by any governor in our state's history. We can no longer separate our vision for economic prosperity from the duty to make Maryland's public schools the best in the nation.
So he's not wrong. The Baltimore public school system is one of the most funded in the nation, among the top tier in funding, 4th highest to be exact. Last year, the school's budget increased nearly 16%. But enrollment's been plummeting for years. So do you think more money for your students, better education, right? Not according to the folks I spoke to.
More money does not equal quality education. Never.
So that's Yolanda. Her children are in.
That is the problem with Democrats. They always think, oh yeah, we'll just spend money, spend money, spend money, spend money, spend money. You just heard it from a parent there. More money does not mean a better education. Better education starts at home. That's where a better education, that's where a lot of this starts. 90% of it starts at home. At home. I don't care how much. They're spending $21,000. I think it was like 21.6. I believe the number was. Yeah, $21.6 thousand per student. Per student. Oh, just throw more money at it. That'll solve the problem. No. That's just more money to be mismanaged. That's just more money to just blow away. Oh, we need to hire another leader of diversity here in this school. Does that change the education? No. I'm not saying that that's what they did, but I'm just saying I could picture that happening, right? I mean, this stuff is ridiculous, man. And when will they learn? Never, I guess, but
enrolled in Baltimore City schools, and between the education or the lack thereof and the crime crisis plaguing the city and its schools, she's terrified of sending her children there every day. To others who joined our conversation joined the growing movement as well. Homeschool in Baltimore, but that's not an option for everyone, nor is it covered. First, let's start with a former Baltimore teacher who finally had enough.
You taught in Baltimore for 10 years. What made you decide to leave?
I would get students who were, coming to me in 6th grade who were on 2nd grade reading levels. Very rarely did you have students who were proficient and on grade level.
Hold on, what'd she say?
Coming to me in 6th grade who were on 2nd grade reading levels.
They're in the 6th grade and have 2nd grade reading levels. How sad is that? How sad. And there's no end in sight. There is no end. Because Democrats always want to point the finger at everybody else. Oh no, it's their fault, it's their fault, it's the MAGA extremists. That's why these students are doing so terrible. It's never, the individual's fault. Starts in the home, man. This stuff is crazy because these are potentially our future leaders. These are potentially folks that in the future will be in office. And in the 6th grade, they have a 2nd grade reading level. Now, obviously, just because you start that way doesn't mean you have to end that way, right? They can correct course. They can most definitely correct course. But then also, how in the world did you get passed along to the point where now you're in the 6th grade and you still read at a 2nd grade level? There were no teachers from 3rd, 4th, 5th, and now 6th grade who were like, hold on, wait a minute. How are these kids getting passed up to me? They should still be back with y'all. Why do I have... Who's Who's just giving these students passing grades? The culture of participation trophies, man. I think that's part of it, right? Oh, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Very rarely did you have students who were proficient and on grade level in reading and or math.
Do they encourage the educators to pass them along even though they aren't prepared for the next level?
When I was an educator, a child could only be held back one time in each part of their academic career. I've had kids tell me, like, I mean, you know, do what you want. I can't fail. I already failed last year. It's not like I can fail again, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I want you to talk about the violence in the schools. What is that like?
I can remember instances of students beating other students up, and I feel so bad, but I'm encouraged not to get involved, you know, and so I have to follow protocol. But in the meantime, someone's child is getting beaten.
Do you have children now?
I do.
Would you send them to Baltimore schools?
No, that's why I homeschool.
Really? Are the taxpayers in
Yeah, she understands what's going on. I ain't putting my kids in there.
Baltimore getting a return on their investment on education?
No, I can't say we are. You know, if we look around our communities, we look around, you know, our schools, we look at the numbers. I mean, numbers don't lie, people do. We look at the numbers, they're not lying to us. Our students in our schools really need some help.
The academic decline is no secret to parents. The number of Maryland homeschool students has spiked from 27,000 in 2019 to nearly 45,000 in 2022. To understand how students are affected, I spoke with 3 Baltimore City parents.
I've been here my whole life. I'm a product of Baltimore City Schools. My mother was a product of Baltimore City Schools. This is generational. This just didn't happen. You failed generations of families. So this is an intergenerational curse when it comes down to our school systems. Under different administrations, we have still seen the same results of parents failing, and unfortunately, parents can't teach their children how to read if they can't read.
Beth, you successfully homeschooled children, but there's a growing movement of parents that want to homeschool their children.
I started coaching parents, mostly mothers, how to homeschool in August of 2020. These parents were pulling their kids out of school in a panic situation, and they all had different boiling points of what was the last straw. So I put together their curriculums based on online free resources and going to the public library. What has been developed today is more of a housing program to put the kids in a space for 8 hours every day and give them busy work so both of the parents can work. And homeschool is something that you can do as working parents because you don't have all the busy work.
The youth homicide is up 67%. The shootings are up 55% from the same time last year. Yolanda, what runs through your mind?
Frustration. In order to understand the people, you have to be one of them. We have too many people making these decisions on education, on crime, on homelessness that never felt
The problem is you got Democrats doing it.
the struggle. They took 9 to 15 guns out of one school in Baltimore City this year. So children can't learn if they're not safe. It's bad enough the education system is failing them.
What is that? What the? Where do you? What is that? For any of my experts, man. Twist 2. What the? Yeah, nah, son. What in the world?
Education system is failing them. Now we got crime and put on top of that. But children open the side door and let people in with guns. Nobody's monitoring anything.
Baltimore education budget is the 4th highest funded large school system in the country.
The navigator is the CEO of Baltimore City Schools, Dr. Santelises, who get paid more money than the
Black Democrat. Who would have guessed it? Who would have guessed that Baltimore is going to be run by a bunch of black Democrats, man, you just can't make this stuff up. Just can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't.
President is the CEO of Baltimore City Schools, Dr. Santelises, who get paid more money than the president.
It's money management. We've seen it.
So you mean to tell me again, with a $1.62 billion budget, you can't educate, they can't bring a school book home, and you can't even keep a child safe?
The last number I heard was $16,000 to educate a Baltimore City student. And you can educate a homeschooler for, if you're going to buy curriculum, for less than $2,000.
Where is the transparency in the school district?
So a little asterisk replaced the scores. After all these years that they have put the scores, they replaced them with asterisks. What are we hiding?
You're not giving children financial literacy in school. When I was in school, they taught us how to balance a checkbook. See, certain things feel intentional. They protect the institutions, exactly, not the children, not the parent. Everybody's walking around is patting everybody on the back for a failed school system. They're closing down schools at a massive rate. And why is it 40 and 50 children in one classroom with one teacher?
If the schools don't succeed, the city doesn't succeed. And now we've just gone down to a fraction of what it used to be. Jobs have left. People have left. And we need people coming in, and people are afraid.
And it all goes back to education.
This is educational homicide at this point.
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Sad. So we reached out to the Baltimore City Public Schools for a response, but we did not hear back.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Oof. What she said there at the end was profound. She said this is educational homicide. What was that number? She said you could educate a student for 16, but they're spending almost 22 and still not getting the job done. And if you homeschool, you can do it for 2,000. Where's all this extra money going? That's what I want to know. Where's all of this extra money going? The way that you solve this is you stop putting Democrats in those positions. Because if you notice, whenever stories like this come up, right? And I'm not saying Republicans are like the best ever, you know, I'm not saying Republicans have it all figured out. Nobody has it all figured out, right? Nobody's perfect. But whenever you see these stories, there's something that always is the same in these stories. Political party affiliation. Democrats. Democrats. The lady was talking about jobs are leaving and people are leaving. I wonder why. When you see bodies dropping everywhere and you got Democrats running the place, come on, that's to be expected. Look at Chirac. Another great example. People leaving, bodies dropping. Still voting in Democrats, though. Still voting in Democrats. You know, it's a shame. It really is that some folks just won't learn. There's some folks who are just so stubborn that it won't get through their skulls. Stop putting in Democrats. We all know the famous line, the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. These folks are insane. According to the definition, they are insane. They're doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You're not going to get anything different. You haven't. My question to you all is, what will it take for folks like the people in Baltimore to finally wake up and say, all right, we're not voting for Democrats anymore? What do you guys think would be that light bulb moment where it's like, okay, we can't keep doing this? What is it? What happens? Is there a summer where, 5,000 people get pine boxed, right? Due to the pew pew, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it PG. Is that what it is? Is there a school year where, due to gang violence, you know, a vast number of students get pine boxed due to the pew pew in the violent gangs? Like, what is it? What is it? I'm honestly curious. Because I have no idea. I have no idea, because common sense to me says y'all should have stopped voting Democrat a long time ago. But common sense is no longer common, so, you know, what is the turning point? Y'all let me know in the comment section below. This is sad, though, man. It really is sad. Because I'm sure not everybody in the city of Baltimore votes Democrat and, you know, for whatever reason, isn't able to leave the city, so they're stuck in this mess that they didn't want in the first place. You know? But anyway, go to DocRichClothing.com. Go and check out some of that good old merch. Support the channel. All right, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Share this video. Hit the arrow button down below. Copy the link. You can DM it to anybody you like. And yeah, let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this. Peace and love. I'm out.